Great. So thank you. My name is Ken Ondoro. I was the national lead in the community-led child protection mechanisms work that we did in Kenya, and more specifically in the coastal area of Kenya, county called Kilifi County. I'd like to speak about two subjects here. One, the spontaneous spread of the community-led process. And secondly, I'll speak about ownership. So let me start with the spontaneous spread of community-led process. So what happened is that first and foremost, the community where the activities were taking place is very close to the other neighboring 20 or so communities. And so while these activities were going on, they kept on inviting the other neighboring communities. And other than being invited, the other neighboring communities were also observing and crossing over the borders and coming and joining the community where the activities were taking place. So through that, they started learning what these communities were doing. And they also went back into their own villages and started doing the same. Secondly, girls and boys felt that they had learned so much that they wanted to share with the neighboring communities. So they started by literally walking very long distance to the neighboring communities, sharing the information with other girls, sharing the activities that they are doing with the other girls, and also encouraging them to do the same activities or do something that would also help in building their agency. So that kept spreading over time through observations, through interactions of the girls and boys. But most importantly, the parents also felt that they had done so much work in their own village and they had tried so hard to keep their children safe. And they felt that if they hold on to that and do not spread whatever they had learned to the other communities, then their children still stand at risk because the neighboring communities, all these neighboring communities interacted a lot. And so as a group of parents, they also started moving into the neighboring communities, sharing with them what they have learned, sharing with them the activities that they were doing. And slowly by slowly, the neighboring communities also picked up. In terms of ownership, I think from onset, this process put the community members, or rather put the community at the forefront. And so we came in as facilitators. We didn't came in as project officers or project implementers. And discussing about the harms and settling on the harms to intervene on and coming up with the activities, all that were led by the community. So it came from the community. It was led by the community. They came up with the activities. They came up with the structure of the activities on how they are going to do the activities. Girls came up with their own activities. Boys, the same. Parents also had their own activities. Through that, it was not an external thing, but rather it was something that came from the heart of the community and from the heart of the people of the community. So these activities were embedded in communities' everyday lives. They were not running parallel to communities' everyday lives and activities. So that then became part and parcel of the community. And something interesting to share is that to date, or as early as last week, I still keep getting feedback and communication from these communities. They're sharing with me the girls went for a football tournament. They have recruited 2 new football teams for the girls. The boys have recruited 2 new football teams for the boys, for the younger boys. Parents are still having meetings and discussions. And by the way, they are still engaging the neighboring communities. I haven't been there in quite a long time, but I have evidence to show that these communities still reach out to me. They share with me. They feel I'm their friend, still part and parcel of them. So they send me pictures. They share with me the milestones. For example, the communities got together, fundraised for one of the children to proceed to secondary school. And most of those funds came from the chicken business keeping and chicken rearing and sales business that they started. It's still up and running. So it's great to see how when the community owns the process and embed it in their everyday lives and everyday activities, it doesn't become an external thing. It becomes part and parcel of them. And I think that has sustained the momentum to date. Thank you.